Hi guys, I've had a lot of interest in how I use Google Docs to do school this year with my 5th and 8th graders, and how I specifically use it for Notgrass curriculum. We've had a lot of success this year, and I think this is the first year since we've done homeschooling where my 8th grader has really thrived in his entire curriculum, not just in history and language arts. But it's really streamlined homeschooling for us and made things a lot easier to keep track of grades and all of those things. So I'm going to switch my phone around here and I'm going to show you a little bit about how I use it. So I'm going to start out by showing you the different folders that we've created so far this year. We just started Monday, so we're on day 4 of homeschooling. We add a subject every day until Labor Day, and then after Labor Day we pretty much go into it full force. This gives us the flexibility and time to really go over every subject and make sure that my students know exactly how to do each new curriculum, if it's new, or what I expect of them this year, because, you know, as they get older, you expect more from them. And so let me show you just a little bit of how we set it up. So my son, my 8th grader, he set up a folder for school, and then under that folder he has all of his different classes. So right here he has science, and you can see that he has history. I know that he has a grammar one somewhere in the list, but we don't need to go down there and look. And then you can see some of the individual assignments that are just over there from my other kids. So what we're going to look at is the folder that we've labeled history particular, because we're going to look at Notgrass and see how we've set that up this year. So let's click on history. Okay, so for history in Notgrass curriculum, there are several different assignments at the end of each lesson, and for Uncle Sam and You this year we have a picture this and a find out, and that's what this one is. He keeps both of them in there because they're just a one, like either they're going to have to take a picture of some sort, or they're going to have to answer a date of something. And so he just keeps that all in this one, and let's look at it real quick. What he does is the pictures are all individual assignments on there, individual documents, and the find out is all together because it's just a date that he has to answer. And you can see, if you were to click on it, it would zoom in, but you can see that I keep the grade right beside it. Okay, now let's go over the category lists, the folder lists, I'm sorry. So under lists, he keeps his lesson activity checklist, and let's click on that real quick. And what we have here is what happened. I think it took us back. It did. Okay, real quick. All right, there we go. The activity checklist, like I said, I saved it under Google Docs, and Google Docs changes the format just a little bit when it comes in here. So it doesn't look exactly like it would have looked when you downloaded it from the Notgrass website. But you can see where he highlights the assignment when he gets it done. He's not quite got everything highlighted in there though. But he just highlights it. You can check it off, whatever you want to do, and mark it off. He likes to keep it that way. He knows just exactly what he has to do every single day. And I don't know why I said go out of there. Under the lists subfolder, we have the Uncle Sam and You grading chart, which I just downloaded from Notgrass, and I added some color to it. I changed the formatting just a little bit. The way I do it is I put an X on the assignments that he doesn't have to do that day, and I grade the rest of them. You can see that we do for mastery for our homeschool, so there should be no reason that my kids don't get an A, because if they get something wrong, they have to go back and correct it, which is why you see all A's there. I'm not just like super lenient on my kids. Now let's check out vocabulary. This is something that he has several times a week. You can see that he's done lessons 2, 3, and 4. And they are individual documents under the subfolder vocabulary, because some days he has a lot and he wants to keep them separate. Now he could have them as all one document if he wanted to, but it's just much easier for me to grade this way. So let's look at vocabulary day 2. So for vocabulary day 2, he had to write these, take these words and write the definitions. And so that's what he did down here. And you can see that I put an A at the bottom because that's the grade I gave him on that individual assignment. That way, if he has any questions, he can just go through and look real quick. Let's go back and see. The rest of his grades, or the rest of his assignments in vocabulary. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna say shared with me. And we're gonna go to history. And let's go back to the vocabulary. Okay, and let's look at today's assignment. Okay, so these were the words that were in his assignment for today, and he has the letters beside it, and he has typed down here. He wouldn't have to do this, but he chose to do this extra work. He typed down here all of the definitions that were needed. Like I said, if it's, you can choose how to do it with your kid. You can, literally however you want to do it, it's up to you. But it just makes things easier for me to have this all in Google Docs instead of handwriting, because handwriting is something that he despises and it's a fight every day. So if I can streamline some of that, I'm going to. So let me show you why it's such a cool little thing. Let me show you one of the things that Google Docs does. So when you share with someone, you basically can communicate back and forth. And right now it's in editing mode, which means I can change any of this and it will save anything that I change on here. Or the way I like to grade his papers is I like to go into suggestion mode. So I clicked on suggestion, and what I'll do is, let's say he spelled evangelize wrong. I would go up there and I would highlight the word, and then I would actual highlight it with the highlighter and pick whatever color. He likes yellow. So, and then right over here, do you see this little box popped up? And then I would type in what was going on. Why did I highlight it? And I'm going to say spelling. So then when he gets in here and he checks to see if his papers have been graded, which he'll get an email that says I changed something or I commented or anything, that there was any kind of change made to his document, he'll get an email and he'll be notified of that. But let's say he doesn't, and he just comes in to see if I've graded it yet. He's going to see that the word evangelize is highlighted, and when he hovers over it, it's going to bring this comment, because everything that he does wrong in here, let's say, let me finish this comment. Okay, let's say this one is also spelled wrong, and I'm going to highlight that, or let's say that one was incorrect. I'm going to highlight that with yellow, and for this one, see how that box has popped forward? Because that's going to be, it's connected to that word and not the one above. So I'm going to say incorrect. And I'm going to hit reply. And now when he comes in here and he hovers over it, let's zoom out just a little bit. If he hovers over this, clicks on it, do you see how it moved that box forward? Because that box goes with that particular suggestion. Okay, so he'll know exactly what to correct and why to correct it. And I can make notes all over this thing if I wanted to. But he didn't get those wrong. So I'm going to say accept suggestion, and then he'll have to go in here and highlight those words, and that's fine. Okay, let's go in here to creative writing now. You can see he's got creative writing 1, creative writing 2, and he's working on creative writing 4. So this is something that he's working on today. The assignment is, in your notebook, write a short story of at least 1 page about an American family making a new immigrant welcome. And this is what he's going to be working on, and he apparently is currently working on this because this little red cursor here with his name, that shows me that this is the document that he is in. So, you know, if he were actually at his computer right now, which he may or may not be, and working on this, you would actually be able to see him type right now whatever he was writing. And we could, you know, converse back and forth on this in our little comment section or in our suggestion section and be able to I can give him tips or something if I wanted to in that moment. Now we're going to go in here to thinking biblically. Must be moving pretty slow. All right, so you can see that he has 2 days of thinking biblically in there. And I'm not sure why that one hasn't loaded. Okay, there we go. So this one, thinking biblically from day 1, he just had to copy the scripture from 1 Timothy. And I was able to go in there and grade it really quickly. And yeah. So that's just what I do for my history for Notgrass for my 8th grader. We'll do that for my 5th grader too, although we haven't started that one yet. We will be starting that one in a few days. And we also do the same thing for science. We do it for grammar. We do it for spelling. We do it for all of the curriculum that we have. It makes things easier. It keeps everything in one spot. I have all of it. I don't have to worry about papers and files and things that I have to keep. It's all on Google Docs. It makes it just really, really easy. And if anybody has questions about how to set up a folder or a subfolder or anything like that, let me know. And thanks for watching.